Of course, this week we've been talking a lot about Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin and that medical episode he suffered Monday night on the football game against the Bengals. Hamlin was rushed to the hospital, but before that, CPR saved his life. Our health reporter Haley Hernandez is here with a special guest and more. Haley, good morning.
Hey, Owen. So obviously the big topic this week was cardiac arrest when Damar Hamlin went down during Monday night's game. And as a nation, we saw the importance of CPR and AEDs. When he went down on the field, medical staff began administering these life-saving measures within seconds. That is critical to saving a life when someone experiences cardiac arrest. So last year, I spoke with Memorial Hermann about how many people don't survive these events simply because bystanders don't jump in with CPR. That's why we brought Josh Cools in today. Josh Cools with Memorial Hermann Life Flight. Josh, I know you're going to be able to demonstrate CPR so we can either give people a refresher or teach them for the first time, because it's probably not as hard as people think it is.
No, it's actually much easier, and that's the great thing about this community education. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on here. First of all, I want to say that we can do it now with just chest compressions. You don't have to administer the breath anymore, which might have deterred some people from getting down and helping somebody.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, compression-only CPR is a highly recommended route for resuscitation.
So show us what the compression only looks like. Let's get down here with our dummy here and show me, where do I place my hands? How do I hold my elbows? What does it look like?
So the first thing that you want to do is establish that the patient's unconscious and unresponsive, and then you're going to assess for just signs of life for about 10 seconds. So you're looking for chest rise and fall, obvious breathing, just any indication that the patient is still alive. If that is not present, then what you want to do is call 911 and get the AED, which we'll talk about a little bit. But after that, you bare the chest completely, and then you put one hand in basically the center of the chest. You interlock your fingers. You're going to put your shoulders over your hand so that your body's doing the compressions, and you're going to compress about 2 to 2.5 inches of an adult patient.
And how, so you said, so shoulders over, so you got to have your elbows kind of stiff here, right?
Yes.
And what's the beat that we have to do this to? I had heard Stayin' Alive was the tune that you want to think of in your head, right?
So that's right. So what we want to look for is about a rate of 100 times a minute when you're doing compressions, and so it'll look like this. But the interesting thing about Stayin' Alive is I think a lot of folks our age understand that song and they know it, right? But
our age?
Well, maybe mine. But some of the younger population maybe not too familiar with it. And so a song that is viral, it went viral years ago, that is pretty close, it's 110, is Baby Shark. So, and I apologize for anybody who gets that song stuck in their head this early in the morning.
I know. But that's the point. It's a tune that we all know. We all know the beat to. So go ahead and do it one more time.
All right,
we can demonstrate. Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo doo. That works. If that's what it takes to remember it, this could save a life.
That's correct. It's that easy.
Now, how hard do you have to press? Because we've all heard, like, oh, you might break somebody's rib, and you don't want to ever deter that, because the alternative is they could die, right? So you do have to press kind of hard, right? Yeah.
So the amount of strength that requires when you're doing compressions varies a lot on the patient. Depending on the patient's bones and the muscles, the chest, that can vary. But really what the goal is to do, if you're in a question about doing it too hard or not hard enough, you want to do it too hard. There's kind of a joke that people mention about if you start to do compressions and the patient says, ow, you should probably stop.
Then they're awake. Then you did it. So let me try this, because the point is, it's hard, but you want to do it until somebody can get one of those, right?
Yes, that's right.
Is that right?
Perfect. Very good. Good form. Good upper body. Very good. Excellent compressions.
So yeah, it is. You are going to have to push hard, and if you think it's not hard enough, then go harder. These is what's going to save the life too, and you can't hurt somebody by putting that on them, right?
Well, so if you put on a patient who's unconscious and unresponsive, there's no signs of life, then ultimately in a patient in cardiac arrest, this is one of the most important things to provide them is an automated external defibrillator, or AED. So for every minute a machine like this is delayed, a person's chance of survival decreases by about 10%. So it's really important to get this as soon as possible. But in reality, is the 3 basic steps for anybody in the community is early access to the patient, early CPR, early AED, and making sure that we call 911 early.
That has to happen. Those are in all public places now. You go to an airport, in the hospital, everything. You can find them. We have one here at our job too. So Josh Cools, thank you for joining me this morning. Coming in this morning, the Thank you for doing this live demonstration. I appreciate it, and we
Well,
will
thank
have
you.
this on our website. The only thing you can do to hurt somebody in this situation is not jump in with
Right.
CPR, guys.
And there's a lot of songs that are 100 beats per minute too. So if you got to find your favorite, there you
Great,
go.
Billy. Thank you.
Thanks.